Not to mention that it might also help us with the way that we view human life as a whole, because our culture of death in America today is creating a generation of people who don't understand the value of human life. Places like Planned Parenthood and our abortion policies have done nothing more than to turn a human life into a slogan. My body, my choice. Especially our youngest minds, because I want to show you a recent Inside Edition story that showcased a young girl who threw her brand new baby into a dumpster and left it for dead.
It's difficult to watch. A teen mom drives up to the dumpster. In the back seat is her newborn, stuffed in a trash bag. Then you see her coldly tossing the baby boy right into the dumpster, like garbage. She drives off, apparently not realizing every move she made was captured on surveillance camera. It's 36 degrees in Hobbs, New Mexico, but the story doesn't end there. Nightfall comes. That same surveillance camera captures a miracle. As 3 dumpster divers scavenge for goods, suddenly they hear what they think is a cat. They retrieve the garbage bag. Miraculously, the baby is alive. You see the woman taking charge, her maternal instincts kicking in. She cradles the baby. You even see her kiss the infant. They call 911.
911, where is your emergency?
We just found a baby in the trash.
Is it breathing?
Yes, ma'am. He still got his umbilical cord. He's whimpering. He was not crying, actually.
The woman in the video seen comforting the child is April Natal.
She could have took him to the hospital, took him to a church, took him somewhere other than throwing him away like a piece of trash.
The teen mom was quickly tracked down. She is 18-year-old Alexia Avila and now faces attempted murder and child abuse charges.
Now, this absolutely horrific story, some of you are going to say, well, this is because of the tragic way in which Roe v. Wade was overturned. It left young teenagers like this girl to think that she has no other option because she can't abort her baby. She has no other option but to throw her baby in the garbage. Now, of course, there are such a thing as safe haven laws where she could have taken that child instead of throwing it in the garbage. But for those of you who think that's true, may I remind you that the overturning of Roe v. Wade simply moved the decision into states as to what they do with abortion. And you should know this. And this is from U.S. News. New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, who is running for re-election, has cast herself as a staunch defender of access to abortion procedures. In a statement issued after the vote, she said the ordinance was an affront to the rights of personal autonomy of every woman in Hobbs in southern New Mexico, and we will not stand for it. Of course, she's speaking here of a city council meeting that voted that they would restrict abortions, but of course the governor would not sign that into law. So Lujan Grisham, the story continues to go on to say, is a Democrat and said abortion procedures are illegal throughout New Mexico and that providers delivering health care have every right to establish a practice. In June, she signed an executive order that prohibited cooperation with other states that might interfere with abortion access in New Mexico, declining to carry out any future arrest warrants from other states related to anti-abortion provisions. The order also prohibited most New Mexico state employees from assisting other states in investing or seeking sanctions against local abortion providers. So I hope you can see that specifically in Hobbs and specifically in the state of New Mexico that they are very abortion friendly and that the governor there was trying to make sure that she did whatever was necessary to make sure that you can have an abortion in New Mexico, even to the point where if, like say in Texas, where somebody was fleeing Texas and going to New Mexico, if that's a violation of that state law in Texas, that the governor was swearing that she would not extradite, she would not do anything to make sure that that law was enforced in her state. So she was doing the best that she could post-Roe to make sure that everybody that wanted to kill their baby in New Mexico had the right to do so, as though that were some type of constitutional right. But then you should know one other fact. If you believe that the overturning of Roe v. Wade is really the cause behind this girl throwing her baby in the garbage and not the very careless way the culture of death in the abortion industry in America has treated human life, you should know this, that Inside Edition story that I showed you happened over a year ago and happened before the overturning of Roe v. Wade. So Roe v. Wade was intact when this young girl threw her baby in the garbage. So what is this? It's nothing less than the fact that our abortion culture has treated human life as an inconvenience to be tossed aside, whether it be in the garbage behind Planned Parenthood or the garbage wherever this young girl left her baby. It's disgusting. And it's unfortunate that this young girl is a casualty of that culture. See, I think she lacks the appropriate mens rea, or the mental capacity to understand that what she just did was so evil and so disturbing. The only reason I say that is that the abortion industry in America has done a great job of telling you that that other heartbeat inside of your body is your body rather than another body. And so young people especially, who really don't have the power to consent and think for themselves in a rational manner, are willing to believe the nonsense that is peddled by the left in our country on a regular basis. Which is why we have to do the best that we can to change our culture from a culture of death to a culture of life. Because as we can see, more and more people devalue human life under the knives of abortion clinics than ever before. So for all the heartstring pulling that the abortion industry has done to try to make us think that the vast majority of abortions that happen are because of rape and incest and life of the mother, the truth is that about only 2% of those abortions are because of life of mother, rape, and incest. And the vast majority, the 98% of abortions, and that's being charitable, are simply done out of inconvenience. What did we think would be the shameful results of that kind of mentality in public view? Of course, it would be a devaluing of human life. It would be the exchange of a baby for a saying. Nonetheless, as we move further down the rabbit hole of progressivism, we recognize how devastating its effects are on our culture and on our children. So you just got done watching a small excerpt of a much larger episode. You can find the link to that full episode down below in the description of this video. So you definitely want to check that out, because if you like that clip, you'll like the much larger episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and click that little bell to be notified when great new episodes of Indie Thinker come your way. Thanks for watching.